The worst excuse for not doing your first powerlifting meet is also the most common one, and that's, I'm not strong enough yet. I hear lifters say this to me all the time, and I have to break it down for them and help them understand why they can't let that hold them back from starting their career as a powerlifter. Because there's no sport that's more accessible, more inclusive, and has a lower barrier for entry than powerlifting. Maybe running, but powerlifting's way cooler than running a 5K or a half marathon or whatever. Who wants to go running? Lifting weights, so much cooler. The key word in that objection is yet. Of course you're not strong enough yet. You just got started, and there's no time in your powerlifting career where you're going to make more rapid gains than at the beginning. They're called newbie gains for a reason. So if you sign up for a powerlifting meet that's 8 or 12 weeks away, you can make an absolute shit ton of progress in that amount of time, and you can go from what you perceive as not strong enough to compete in powerlifting to the strongest you've ever been in that short amount of time. And if you sign up for a meet and you put a deadline on the calendar for when you have to be at your best, chances are you're going to be way more focused and put a lot more effort into your training, so your gains are just going to come that much faster. The thing is, when you power lift, you get to pick your own weights. If you can lift the empty bar, you can compete. Pick your own weights, you're running your own race, you're just trying to do better than what you've done in the past. Everybody starts somewhere. Nobody's strong when they first get started. That's what's so cool about powerlifting, is that it gives somebody a competitive outlet without some sort of unattainable barrier for entry. And lastly, you're never going to know how strong you really are unless you put it to the test in some sort of environment like a powerlifting competition, because you have to learn to compete. It's so much different than training. It is absolutely harder. The atmosphere creates a little bit more excitement and anxiety, and it makes it a little bit harder to perform your best. You're under the scrutiny of judges who are holding you accountable to commands and rules. So anything that you do in a powerlifting competition has a little bit more legitimacy just because it's done under stricter standards. Now, if you just get satisfaction out of doing your best in training and have no interest in competing, that's great. That doesn't invalidate those accomplishments that you've made. But in order to compete at a high level, you need to first learn to compete, because it's so much different than training. And the sooner that you do that, the sooner you put yourself out there, dive into the deep end and learn how to compete, the less stressful it's going to be. You have to kind of face your fears in order for them to subside. So if the idea of competing in a powerlifting meet makes you a little bit nervous, the best thing you can do to make that nervousness go away is to sign up and compete. Put yourself out there. And one of the most fulfilling things that I do as a coach is help people compete in powerlifting for the first time. We run first-time powerlifting meet programs at Bombeck Strength every year, and we're doing another one here this fall. We're gearing up for a competition on December 15th in Hanson, Massachusetts. Training for that starts on September 23rd. If you're somebody who's local to the greater Worcester or greater West Boylston area and you're interested in competing in powerlifting for the first time, we can help. We can help you learn everything you need to know about competing and make you be the strongest you can possibly be on the platform for the first time. So if that sounds like something that you're into, or if you know somebody who might be interested, hit us up, DM us on Instagram, reply in the comments here on YouTube, and we would love to be the coaches and the community that helps you compete in powerlifting for the first time.